In Oregon's 3rd district, you have an incumbent Democrat. This is Earl Blumenauer, who has held that seat since 1996. That is a long time. Back during the run of Seinfeld, actually. And so what does it take to take down an incumbent who's been around for that long? Well, we're joined by someone who hopes to do exactly that. Albert Lee, congressional candidate, welcome to the show.
Thanks, John. Jake, thanks for having me.
Great to have you on. So tell me about, like I said in the intro, Earl Blumenauer has been around for a long time. What about this time and about his record makes it so that you want to run against him now?
Well, first of all, it's not about Earl, it's about our future. You know, my name's Albert Lee. I'm running to represent the people of the 3rd District of Oregon to the United States Congress. I'm running, first of all, because democracy requires choice, something we haven't had here in over a generation. I'm running because we have and face a series of crises here in this district, across the country, and around the world that require bold action now, and not just the inspirational and aspirational words. Also, I'm running because I believe in the basic tenets of the Democratic Party when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's beyond time that we uplift some new voices from other perspectives, from other lived experiences to represent us here in the most diverse district of the state. Now, above all of that, I'm running because I believe that it's time that we end this oligarchy of career multimillionaire politicians ruling over us and have true representatives of the people by citizen representatives who know the struggle.
So you said there that you want to actually represent the people, and you mentioned crises. What are some of the crises that you feel like Blumenauer is not representing the people of his district in regards to?
Absolutely. So one of the first things that when we talk to people on the doors is the homelessness crisis. It's exploded over this last generation. It's a crisis that started off very small in the downtown area, and now it covers the entire district. We talk about, in addition to that, the lack of affordable housing and living wages that places too many of us into the struggling class. And then above all of those issues are our climate emergency. We have less than 8 to 11 years to do something, anything to solve that. And if we don't do that, then none of the other issues will really matter.
I certainly agree in the idea of having a House that would be ready and willing to do something in regards to that. If we got the right president in 2020, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you too about, so you're running in this race. You are also a member of the DSA, which is a group that thankfully over the past year or so, people have heard a lot more about. It hadn't previously been something talked about too much nationally. What does being a member of the DSA bring to your race?
I'll tell you what, a lot of power. The DSA here, the local chapter of the Portland DSA, is an incredibly vibrant and an amazing organization. I was just at the monthly meeting the other day. We had over 300 people there. People are fired up. They are tired of looking at the situation and saying there's nothing that can be done. We need to have a government that fights for the people, that works for the people, and not just for the wealthy few. And the DSA is all about that.
You know, I'm curious too. I know a good bit about the DSA here in California, in Oregon less so. I know that Oregon is a state that has some areas that are quite liberal, but then also has some rural areas that are pretty conservative. In regards to your race, what is having that affiliation? What effect does that have when you're talking to people? Are they open to democratic socialism? Are they questioning of it?
Absolutely, no, they are quite open to it. We're here in the 3rd district. We are a plus 24 Democrat on the Cook Voting Partisan Index. So that means that there's no Republican, no third party candidate who will ever have a shot at winning in this district. It's a heavily Democratic district. And I would argue that we are one of the most progressive districts in the country. And that's sort of what I'm gambling on. I'm saying, hey, we have a neoliberal centrist Democrat that has basically put on the cloak of progressivism in the past and has built up a decent brand, made in China plastic bicycles that'll end up in the ocean. He puts those pins on everyone. But the reality is when you just scratch the surface, it's not enough. We need somebody that's going to actually truly fight for the people.
And so in that district that, as you're pointing out, is incredibly blue, Blumenauer on one of the most high-profile progressive priorities, passing Medicare for all. He's currently against it, and receives money, by the way, from the healthcare industry. And so we're always curious when we have a candidate on, especially for the first time. What is your philosophy on raising money for your candidacy?
Yeah, no corporate money whatsoever. We are endorsed by brand new Congress, as well as the Portland chapter of Democratic Socialists of America, as well as the local chapter of Our Revolution, the Independent Progressives for Action. And it is absolutely important that we do not take any corporate contributions. I think that taint is one of the biggest problems that we have. It's not just the right side of the aisle. We have folks on the left side of the aisle that take so much money from corporations. And that's why we have, like, what is it, a 4% approval rating in Congress? Because those folks don't work for us. They work for the people that pay them.
And where can people watching this find out more information about your candidacy and your platform?
Absolutely. We have albertlee2020.com, as well as our Twitter and Facebook and Instagram pages.
Okay, Albert Lee, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.